everybody? Welcome to the Comic Gaming Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to review The Iron Claw. Now, this is a movie I've been meaning to review for a while now. I saw it, just haven't had the time. I haven't really had a lot of time on my hands right now as of late to do a lot of reviews that I want to do. Still haven't even seen Aquaman yet. Granted, that's more because when I finally got around to trying to go see it, it was just like screenings all over the place, or at least where I'm living, there's screenings all over the place. It's making a lot of money, but all that's over in China and not in the U.S. clearly, because I don't see any screenings over here. But regardless, The Iron Claw. Now this is a some of you might not know this, and some of you might do. I am a huge professional wrestling fan. Been a huge professional wrestling fan for a large portion of my life. Huge WWE guy, New Japan guy. I've watched all wrestling all the time. AEW from time to time. But I've been a huge wrestling fan all of my life. And if you are a wrestling fan, a true wrestling fan, you know the history of wrestling. Long before Vince McMahon showed up and started and made the WWE, or WWF for the older folks out there, WWF/WWE, there were territories. Each little section of the country had its own territory. You had the NWA that was pretty much the, but it was like basically all these companies working at all these promotions working underneath each other. And one of those promotions was owned by the Von Erich family. Now, some people know this tragic story, the dark history of the Von Erich family. Back in the day, and the name movie, The Iron Claw, was the move that the family made famous as their wrestling move. It was a claw move. They'd put it on your head, squeeze you, and you tap out. That was The Iron Claw, hence the name of the movie. But the movie is told from one of the brothers' perspectives of the events of his family and them falling apart. And if you know the history of the Von Erich family, then you know that it's a history that it's a tragic history. And it's almost scary how crazy all this happened. Like, I don't want to spoil anything for you, though this is a story that's been around for, in wrestling history for a very long time. The Von Erich family are very influential in the wrestling business as a whole. Back in the 80s, they were doing things that weren't really done. First of all, having these young, extremely in shape, high-flying kind of guys was a unique thing back in the day. They had this whole rivalry with the Freebird that's like the quintessential group versus group rivalry that you'd see done billion times in professional wrestling again after that, but it really was something hot back in the day. And the movie is about the slow decline and, basically the downfall of that family. From the rise of the family to all the brothers getting into professional wrestling and the father, and the father is just a piece of work, man. And I know there are fathers like that. The fathers who live vicariously through their children, and they pretty much just choose a path for their children. This is the path you're walking, and I don't really give a fuck what you want to do. This is the path you're walking, and you're going to walk it because I'm telling you you're going to walk it. And he kind of had that attitude. And, this movie is one of the best acted movies of the year. Honestly, Zac Efron and the guy who plays his father were so amazingly good in this movie. Everyone was great in the movie, but they were particularly great in this movie. And the brotherhood between all the love between all the brothers. This movie might be slow in bits, which kind of hurts the movie, but in terms of the structure of the movie, it is so well done. Because first of all, it does this thing where up top, at the beginning of the movie, before any of the tragedies start happening, they make you love the brothers. Now, you are on the fence about the mom and the dad. I'm going to tell you that right off the bat. The mom is the classic absentee. I'm just here to make the food. That's it. I'm just here to make food, have babies, and that's it. She is just completely checked out of any of the drama that's going on in this household. And at any point, she could have stopped her husband for pushing her children too far. But, like I said, she was the absentee mom. She was the mom who was just I'm not even doing nothing. I'm not going to say anything. I'm gonna let you guys handle that, your father, you know, whatever. I'm not gonna say a thing. And it ended up backfiring. It ended up backfiring in a huge way. And there's no one she can blame but herself, you know. But I digress. The mom and the dad are just a piece of work, man. Particularly the father, obviously. He gets a lot of screen time in this. Does a great job. And he reminds me a lot of people describe Joe Jackson, Michael Jackson's fucking father. How, you know, despite the fact that they did end up being successful and whatnot, the way he drilled those kids, the way I mean, Joe fucked Michael up. I don't care what anyone says. I know, like, you know, some people, particularly in the black community, are like, well, look, he put a roof over his head, he fed him, and they didn't go... Fuck that shit. He fucked Michael Jackson up. Michael was all fucked up and weird like that because his dad went so hard on him. It's not a coincidence that the rest of the children kind of turned out okay-ish, and Michael turned out, although extremely talented and successful, little loop-de-loo, because his dad was like just on his ass, like unnecessarily and too much, and just, you know, just trying to control everything in his life. So, and the same thing kind of happened in this movie with this father, is he's trying to control his sons and pushing them and pushing them and pushing them, and not in a good way, in a do this because I want this kind of way. And like over and over again, he just keeps going on about what he wants. The family. And I fucking hate people who try to use family to, like, family or blood or whatever, to try to manipulate you into doing something they want you to do. And that's the kind of person this father is. Well acted, amazingly acted. I'm hoping that actor who played the father gets some type of Oscar nom for this performance, because it was a riveting performance. I hated that man by the end of this movie, bro. I hated this dude. But regardless, it was but the heart of it is these brothers, man. You really feel the love between these brothers. You really do. There's no, like, sure, there's a little bit of jealousy, a little bit, but there's no, like, backstabbing or anything like that. They love each other, support each other, and it's just like, it's sad when those tragedies start to happen, because once the tragedies start to happen, you're just like, there's so many other ways this could have went down. Even as a wrestling fan, I already knew how this was gonna go. Me and Seth were watching together. He loved it. He gave it a 9 out of 10. Like, me and Seth were watching it, and we both knew how this was gonna go. We're both fans of wrestling. We both knew the story of the Von Erich family, the tragic story of the Von Erich family. We already knew that. But even watching it on the big screen, it still was sad. It still was sad. And something that doesn't get depicted enough on the big screen or in Hollywood in general is brotherly love. I often said this, you see motherly love, you see sisterly love, you see love for your spouse, you see love for your children. You don't see a lot of brotherly love. You don't see that a lot. You don't see two men who care about each other and want to look out for each other and want to support each other. And the tragedy of when that doesn't go that way, you don't see it too much anymore. And this movie's a great example. There are movies this is just me, riffing a little bit here. There are movies that, that are tearjerkers, that are meant to be tearjerkers. They're meant to be sad. They're meant to be tearjerkers. And then there are movies that are like man tears. To me, like Saving Private Ryan and The Best of the Best, shit like in the ending of The Best of the Best, that's man tears to me. And I don't know why, like, that's man tears. I did what I was supposed to do, and he died in the end. Like, this movie had a moment, particularly near the back end, where it is just, there's some man tears, man. Just like, I can't describe it. You have to see it to see what I'm talking about. But I digress. This movie is well acted, it is well directed, it is well paced. It's one of the best movies of the year. It's one of the best movies of the year for me, man. And as a wrestling fan, getting to see that story played out on the big screen, a story that we've heard about for years. For years, I've known about this Von Erich story and how tragic it is, and how fucking that's just so terrible that happened to that family. Like, that it was great to see it depicted well on the big screen. Also, it's great to see another wrestling bio on the big screen. You don't got a lot of those. Hopefully, we get more of those. That'd be nice. But anyways, I give the Iron Claw a 9 out of 10. Love the movie. I thought it was one of the best movies this year. I thought, man, this movie this movie has some of the best acting I've seen so far. I mean, the year ain't been going on very long, but some of the best acting I've seen so far. It's Zac Efron's best performance by far. Makes me feel even better about him because I'm a Zac Efron supporter. I like the guy. I like the guy. Once I got past my "fuck that guy from High School Musical" phase and started going like, it's actually kind of funny. Neighbors made me like him. I saw him in Neighbors and he was so funny and he's so willing to make fun of himself that I was like, he can't be that bad of a guy. You know, you're just like, okay, if you're willing to make fun of yourself, then how bad of a guy can you really be? So, and then I started seeing him do more comic stuff and I'm like, dude, this dude's funny. And now he's in this and it's drama and he kills it, man. Damn, Zach. Moving up in the world, man. Moving up in the world. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Gamer Movie Show. Please leave a like and subscribe. And have you seen The Iron Claw? Comment below and let me know. Thank you guys again for joining me. I'll see you in the next one.